Hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here. Last time we struck a deal with the architect. I don't know how that's going to turn out. Why does it seem like my equipment is not normal on Zegana? Well, it is. Okay, away we go.
Do you feel like there are dogs?
Yeah, no kidding. So it's really just the children that are the enemy. Thank you. Okay, let's stab them before they get... Stab them. Yeah, they all got unparalyzed. I don't even know where anything is. I managed to get a kill on something. And now I gotta go around looking for more of the... Yeah. Not impressed. Looking for more of those crystals, because we might need more. We didn't get any here. Oh, more fun stuff. More fun stuff. Hello. Can we do a stun or something? That works. What do we still have? We good? You guys good? Oh, there's another flesh pod with another crystal. And here comes more fun. This guy. Hey, no, stop. No, that's my mage. I thought that was Justice. Okay, we all good? I can pick up stuff now? I can pick up stuff now.
Never any shortage of these ones.
Of course not. This disciple needs to go down. There we go. I'm kind of having issues here. Hit them. Once they're paralyzed, go after someone. Someone just stop going after me. I know, we need more flesh pods. So I think we're still missing a crystal.
Wow, this is more pleasant than sitting in a tent.
Oh, it's more exciting.
Success.
Oh, hey, there's a crystal. Oh, we've completed the quest. It may aid me against the mother. It may aid me, it may not. Who knows? The nest. Alright, here we go. This has got to be it. Finally. We're at the we're at the mother, I think. I don't know. We're just kind of making this up as we go along. I'm still upset we lost Vigil's Keep. I really thought we could have done something to say both. Hey, there's the mother. Is she going to try to negotiate with us? I really don't care what this one has to say.
Now the pieces fall into place. The Grey Warden comes, the instrument of the Father. Oh, and the Father, he is but a shadow. Oh, how my children protect me. How they love me.
You are beyond creepy.
I have told you many
Hi,
times,
Architect.
Mother. I am not the Father. I am simply the Architect.
Oh, that's right. He's
It does not change what
the
you
father.
are. You took away that beautiful music. Left us with nothing.
It was a mistake to free you. It has left you with madness. I am truly sorry.
I don't even know if I fully believe that one, even though we kind of made that decision.
But perhaps the Warden would like to hear how it was that the Father began the Blight. You want the source of the Archdemon? The one who brought all our kind to the surface? Here he is!
I was correct.
Aha.
All of these creatures are irredeemable fiends.
There it is then. Unfortunate. I did find the old god Athemiel, but I did not wish another blight. I attempted my joining ritual. My hope was that this would free all Darkspawn, unravel the curse from its source. Alas, I was unlucky. Is it not the way of the Grey
I still
Wardens
wanna-
to do what must be done? In the name of combating the Blight? The Blight is a menace, both for your people and for mine. To end it requires sacrifice and risk.
And how lonely the Father was. How terrible to be the outcast, the outsider. He claims he wishes the Darkspawn
Do we
to
have
be
to fight
free,
both of these
but
now?
what he truly wants is to correct them.
However you feel about what I have done, the Mother is mad.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely
She
killing her.
cannot be allowed to...
Begone, Shadow! You cannot harm your mother any more than you already have.
Can I still kill the
Now
Architect?
the hero is alone.
Yeah, after I deal with this, of course.
Mother knows your ways. You will not let her be, no, not after what she's done.
Oh, you got that
So
right.
it must end. It all must come crashing down. Perhaps we will hear the song again when we die. Oh, let it come. Let it come.
Oh my gosh. Just when I thought you couldn't get any creepier.
And I'm on.
Special abilities. The Architect is now your ally. You may call on him or any Tevinter towers you activated to use their special abilities in your fight against the Mother. Open your radial menu now. In this advanced section, you will find Tower of Trauma. Effects capability of stunning all creatures in the area. Tower of Healing. Architect's Pyre. Tower of Flame. Okay. Oh yeah, that just killed Anders. Well, this is not going to go well at all. Can I... That did not last long.
This is all too much. Forward. Into the fray.
I think if we can get rid of the tentacles, we'll be a little bit better off.
To battle. Dull moment.
Oh, child grabbers. Everybody should just, like, use a potion. Okay, that one did not say there was friendly fire, so... Okay, that is gross. Fell down. Somebody... You need to heal up. Almost got the... Okay, we got the mother dead. Nice to kill the architect. I just stick a sword right through your face. Well, that worked. After the death of the mother, the remaining Darkspawn forces scattered and fled back to the Deep Roads. The raids on Amaranthine came to an abrupt end, and now we have the epilogue. The architect apparently kept his word, gathering his remaining disciples to follow the rest of their kind back underground. Those Grey Wardens in other nations were appalled to hear of the architect's continued existence, but were unable to track him down despite years of effort. Sorry about that, guys. Some within the Order have claimed that the architect's survival guarantees another blight, and yet the Deep Roads have lately been quieter than any can recall. Most have resignedly decided it is now in the Maker's hands. Word of the Grey Warden's heroic salvation of Amaranthine spread like wildfire. When the magnitude of the losses at Vigil's Keep came to light, sympathy drove generous donations from all over Ferelden into the region's coffers. Amaranthine was restored to her former glory within a year, Vigil's Keep in 5. Okay, well, we still managed to restore Vigil's Keep. Because of the Warden's support for law and order in Amaranthine, Constable Aiden and his men were able to distribute the smuggler's goods to the battered survivors in the grueling days that followed the Darkspawn defeat. The Darkspawn messenger, set free after joining the Wardens in the Battle of Amaranthine, struck out on his own. The sea soon buzzed with stories of a cloaked but lisping figure who aided travelers in danger. At the same time, reports of isolated cases of the Darkspawn disease emerged. No one connected the two. Although the war devastated many farms in the Arlang, all agreed that the loss would have been greater without the soldiers for protection. The farm holders developed a certain reverence for the Warden Commander, as well as an ongoing reliance on the Grey Wardens for order and protection. Vigil's Keep stood alone against a horde of Darkspawn. The Mother's forces outnumbered the Vigil's defenders many times over. But the sturdy dwarven walls, proved impervious to any boulder an ogre could throw. The Vigil's soldiers, clad in silverite, each felled a dozen Darkspawn before they died. The Vigil held one night, then 2, then a week, and eventually the attacking horde broke upon her walls. The keep developed an almost mythic reputation, the few survivors immortalized in song and legend. Okay, I guess it wasn't as terrible. The Vigil became a trading hub that would eventually eclipse the city of Amaranthine, with traders reassured by guards continually patrolling the pilgrim's path. But prosperity bred scheming and treachery between merchants and nobles, testing the commander's patience for years to come. Now, speaking of the keep, that one spot that needed, like, the 4 keys, we never found the 4th key, did we? Or if we did, we didn't go back and use it. Peace allowed the wardens to replenish their numbers. Soon, Vigil's keep bore a capable army with wardens at its core. Although, if all the Darkspawn, though, disappear and go underground in that, how are they getting more Darkspawn blood to do the joining? Just wondering. From their ranks emerge new heroes to challenge threats to Amaranthine and all of Ferelden. Through taxes and levies, the Vigil was rebuilt. Years later, Voldric stood on the battlements and pronounced that the defenses were acceptable. He would never speak more highly of any human engineering. The commander's blade, Vigilance, crafted from the bones of the ancient dragon, was boldly stolen by Antivan crows. Darn it! The blade changed hands many times thereafter, with some master swordsmen pursuing the weapon their entire lives. Some claim that this legendary blade has had a life of its own, and that its power is steadily growing. Dworkin Glavenok further refined his lyrium sand explosive. Oh yeah, the explosives guy, but left the warden's employ after Kunari mercenaries tried to assassinate him. Probably because we saved that one Kunari merchant. Although the dwarven bombardier took his secrets with him, the learned say he left clues for others to follow in his footsteps. The Vigil's soldiers, wearing the distinctive silverite armor that Master Wade crafted, came to be known as the Silver Order. Under the tutelage of the Wardens, the Silver Order developed into one of Ferelden's most revered military forces, a lasting memory of the Vigil's famous commander. A few years after Cal Huriel, I slaughtered that one, was emptied of Darkspawn, Orzammar began sending expeditions to rediscover the knowledge of smithing that had been lost within the Tig. Eventually, House Helmi decided that Cal Huriel was too important to be abandoned. At a tremendous cost to the dwarven lives, they cleared the tunnels leading to Cal Huriel of all Darkspawn, making the road between Orzammar and the fortress safe again. Cal Huriel was reclaimed for Orzammar once and for all. Well, that was good. As promised, Voldric and Dwokin presented Orzammar's Shaperate with the stone marker that told of how Cal Huriel's Castless had taken up arms against the Darkspawn. The commander of the Grey was invited to Orzammar as a guest of honor at a feast commemorating the defenders of Cal Huriel. The Shaper read the names of the Castless off the marker, then presided over a ceremony to return them to the stone, as befitted warriors of their statue. In time, the Arling began to forget the tales of apparitions in the Black Marsh, and ever so slowly, settlers drifted into the region. Scholars said the veil was still thin, and thus the area still dangerous, but the people only cared that there were no longer frightened whispers in the shadows. The village was slowly rebuilt. Twice the Baroness's mansion was rebuilt and occupied, once by a wealthy merchant, and another time by an Orlesian mage. Both died mysteriously. Afterwards, the mansion was torn down completely, and the site left untouched. Anders remained with the Grey Wardens a few years longer, training the Order's next generation of mages, but when the Circle Tower called on him to deliver a lecture on the nature of the Architect, much to the Templars' dismay, Anders told the commander of the Grey that his time with the Wardens was over. Because, he sensed the obvious trap within that. And yet, not 2 months later, Anders returned to the Order. Even after, the Wardens were his home and his lasting companions. And he's a character in Dragon Age 2. When the walls of Vigil's Keep were breached, the surviving defenders watched in horror as a section of stone collapsed upon Velena. When the rubble was later cleared, however, there was no body. Velena was just gone. Does she appear in Dragon Age 2? I don't remember. Over the next years, Nathaniel dedicated himself to the Order and to clearing the blemishes on his family's name. He's supposed to have his famous bow. After saving Tyrion Fergus Cowsland from a bandit attack, a portion of Amaranthine was returned to the house. Nathaniel passed the holding to Delilah's son, and when a new castle was eventually built there, a statue of Nathaniel was erected in its courtyard. Oh, good. Justice served the Grey Wardens for many years, remaining in touch with Aura, the widow of Kristoff. She grew uncomfortable with the body's decay, however, and the day she told Justice she could see him no longer was the day he left the Order. Justice wished his comrades well, then Kristoff's body slumped to the ground dead. Aura finally had a body to mourn. If the spirit itself remains alive, it has not shown itself. It was Sigrun who led the charge against the Darkspawn when Vigil's Keep was attacked. Once again, she had an army behind her, and once again they fought Darkspawn with no hope of survival. This time, Sigrun did not flee. At Vigil's Keep, Oghren rallied a last-minute defense of the gate, taking on 2 ogres simultaneously to allow the others to regain the courtyard. He eventually passed out from the blood loss, but when he awoke weeks later, nobody was more surprised than he to discover that he had been credited as a hero. Oghren continued to regale young Warden recruits with tales of his prowess in both battle and bed, of course. His drinking games prompted at least one recruit to declare that she'd rather reattempt the joining than lift another mug. Oh, that's great. Felsi returned to Vigil's Keep several times to see Oghren, usually bringing their toddler as well. We never talked to Oghren about that. Oghren's inability to act seriously wore on her, however, and her visits dwindled, then stopped altogether. Probably for the best. He's not the best role model of a father. If Oghren missed her or his child, he never showed it. As for the savior of Ferelden, she did not remain as commander of the Grey Wardens for long. The Darkspawn were no longer a real concern, the blight well and truly over. It was time for her to move on. Some claim she returned to Alistair, her true love. We're going with that ending. That was the ending I wanted the first time. And life far away from both Ferelden and the royal court. Some say that she served the Grey Wardens elsewhere, Alistair at her side, or that the two of them were seen often at the palace in Denerim. So it must have loaded the memories from the main game of whether or not Alistair survived or Loghain or whatever, because Alistair could have been sacrificed in the final battle if we had not done the thing with Morrigan. After a number of years, however, neither she nor Alistair were seen again. Perhaps they undertook some mission on behalf of the Grey Wardens, or departed for their own adventures, or simply disappeared. Most assume their tale is far from complete. Very cool, very cool. Alright, well, this is probably going to be like a 40-minute credits, so I'm just going to do a quick final overview of the game. Overall, was this worth $5? We got, what, 28 parts here? I would say so. It was... I like the extension of the story. I like some of the twists that it took. There ended up being a lot of parallels between this and the ending of the main game that kind of brought it down a notch for me. But it had an interesting dynamic. I like how they took the Darkspawn and they twisted them, and they added like new abilities and evolutions. Like they could talk, and so that became interesting. The 3 main areas we went to felt like they were over fairly quickly. I mean, this was just an expansion, so you can't expect too much with it. And for $5, it was well worth it. I had fun with the game. The challenge level felt kind of low. I mean, okay, we got a game over once with the whole, when I was chasing that one smuggler and I abandoned the rest of my party. Beyond that, there weren't really any other, like, super challenging battles or anything. I mean, the Broodmother at the end was fairly challenging, but we beat her on the first try. I like the new abilities and stuff, the new equipment and everything. Everything just felt like very fast-paced in this expansion, as opposed to Origins, where things just really kind of developed over time and were kind of more drawn out. I don't know which one I prefer. Origins felt like more of an epic adventure, whereas this felt more like a nice feast in addition to the epic adventure, you know what I mean? So overall, yeah, I'll give this a solid 9 out of 10 rating. Very fun, enjoyable. I liked all the new stuff that was added. Even though we didn't experience everything that it had to offer, we didn't complete all the side quests, I don't think. There's probably, just like Origins, ways you could kind of make some adjustments to the story here, depending on different ways you answered things. Like everything we just read in the epilogue there could have been changed slightly. But realistically, it would just be the text that changes slightly. And that's just kind of what it is. It's just storytelling, but it's neat. And I do like that aspect of Dragon Age. And it does add replay value, though I don't think I'm going to go back and replay this anytime soon. These games were quite long. Well, the expansion wasn't too bad, but the main game was quite long. And I can see why Dragon Age Origins and Awakening are like a favorite RPG for some people. There's definitely a lot of positive traits there. I feel like this expansion, though, was a little bit more glitchy. Like, we had... I don't know, I'm chalking it up to, like, several glitches of side quests we couldn't really finish. And I'm not a big fan of that. So, it kind of is what it is. I guess for some of those glitches, I'm going to downgrade it to an 8.5 out of 10. Still very solid overall. But, it kind of does make me, like, wish there was a little bit more going on here. Like... We went through the 3 main areas, did the things, and then it was like very suddenly the architect showed up and gave us that curveball, huge curveballs, whereas that sort of aspect of the plot, that could have been drawn out a bit more instead of crammed in at the end. I also would have liked to have saved both Amaranthine and Vigil's Keep. Although, in the epilogue, our main characters there still survived and still, they rebuilt Vigil's Keep. So I guess it's one of those things that's just kind of inconsequential. I bet if we went back and saved Vigil's Keep and let Amaranthine burn, they'd be like, oh yeah, we built Amaranthine in like 5 years and Vigil's Keep in 1 year from the damages, and it would just been like basically the same thing. So yeah, that's kind of all I've got for this. So we're going to put Dragon Age Origins and Awakening to bed. This has been Late Night Mega. Good night, everyone.